Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of FBP Live. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. As you can probably tell, I'm actually filming from my car this morning, which, trust me, was not my intention. I actually prefer not to do my FBP Live from the car, but as it happened, I was out there in the park and it started pouring down with rain. So hopefully you can hear me clearly and there's not too much noise in the background with the rain that's going on. So once again, thank you so much for joining me this morning. You're tuning in to FBP Live episode 8. I'm Chantal Brodrick, host of the Fitness Business Podcast, where every single week we speak to industry experts, expert guests to bring you information, education and inspiration to help you be a better fitness business owner, manager or fitness professional. So in this week's broadcast, I want to first of all thank you so much for tuning in and joining me this morning. We are going to be doing a quick overview or a quick look into what's coming up on this week's show, because I have a really special guest coming up this week. I also want to talk to you about the Sales Intensive series, which we are 3/4 of the way through now. I've got some exciting news coming up with some great offers for Christmas time and a quick reminder on what's happening with our next FBP family meetup, which is happening in New Zealand this week. So that's really exciting. Now, before we start talking about the show, I actually have a question for you guys, and that is, I would love to know about any achievements or anything that you have accomplished this year in 2017 that has made you really proud. Good morning, Kate. Thanks for tuning in. So anything at all, it might be that you've presented somewhere, it might be that you've helped a client achieve something, it might be that you've hit a particular goal that you're working really hard on. I would love to know what that is. What have you done during 2017 that makes you feel really proud of having accomplished that? So write it in the comments below and share it with me. And the reason that I am asking you guys this is because for me personally, coming up this week, this Saturday, I'm going to be hosting the New Zealand Exercise Industry Awards, and it's coming up this Saturday, and it's something that I am personally really proud of. And you know, on Saturday I was teaching a class and I told my class that I was hosting these awards, and they instantly started, you know, cheering and applauding, and I was like, wow, that feels amazing. And it reminded me how important it is to share these type of bits of news and information with the people that are around you and the people that you work with, because part of that accomplishment is sharing that news with others. So I would love to know, what is it that you have achieved or accomplished this year that's made you feel really proud? So type that in the comments below. Now, I wanted to jump on this week and tell you guys about the interview that I've got coming up that is coming out this Wednesday, and it is with Michael Stelzner. Now, if that name isn't familiar to you, Michael Stelzner is actually the host of the Social Media Marketing Podcast, amongst many other things that he does. Now, I've actually been listening to the Social Media Marketing Podcast for years and years and years. Basically, everything that you need to know about social media, what's coming up, what's new, what's happening as far as marketing's concerned, Facebook algorithm, all that sort of stuff. He talks about every single week in the show. So he's an expert when it comes to utilizing social media. So, hey, Matt, good morning. And so Matt just said, I can tell even more really good dad jokes. I like it, Matt. So coming up this week, this Wednesday, guys, I talked to Michael about ways that you can utilize social media for low cost and no cost marketing for your fitness business. So how can you use Instagram specifically, we talk about, to market your fitness business? Then the other big topic that we talk about is Facebook Watch. Now, if you haven't heard of Facebook Watch, it's not like a Apple Watch. It's not a watch that you wear. Facebook Watch is actually the new video platform that Facebook has released in the US, but not yet in Australia. And we talk about how you can potentially use that as a fitness professional. And my advice is this: have a listen to the show, because we go into quite a lot of detail about how he is building a series that would be relevant for Facebook Watch, and we talk about some ideas that fitness business owners could actually use to start developing that video series now, to potentially put on the platform in the future. So if you have never heard of Facebook Watch, or you haven't seen any of the articles about it, then absolutely jump on. It is show 139. It's coming out this Wednesday on iTunes this Wednesday, and special guest is Michael Stelzner. So I really encourage you to check that out. Now, if there is anyone who listens to the show, maybe occasionally, but you don't yet subscribe to the show, and you're wondering how you can make sure that you always get notifications of the next show that's coming up, well, just type subscribe in the comments below, because last week I filmed kind of a mini video on how you can subscribe to the show to make sure that you're always getting updates the entire way through. Okay, so just write subscribe in the comments below and I will send you through that video so you can check that out. Now, if you weren't with me right at the very beginning of the broadcast today, don't forget, I would love to know, what is it that you've achieved this year? What is something that you have done, and it can be personally or professionally, that you are really proud of? I would love to hear about it, so type it in the comments below. The next thing that I want to tell you guys about this week is our Sales Intensive series featuring Casey Conrad. Now, if you follow the Facebook page already, chances are you have seen some advertising around this series, and maybe you've listened to some of the shows already. Casey is an expert when it comes to all things sales related for fitness business owners and managers. So everything from membership sales to personal training sales, she is the person who knows it all. And she was kind enough to come on and do 4 shows with us. So effectively we have positioned this like a course. It's like a 4-week course. So each week for 4 weeks you get 15 minutes of information, and each of those 15 minutes is jam-packed with specific actions. And at the end of each of those shows, there are actually actions that you can take away and do yourself or do with your team. So it's not just a kind of sit and listen to the information. There are specifics around every single show. And there are also transcripts that relate to the audio files, so you can download the show and you can read through those actions every single week. Now, I'm going to refer to my computer to tell you guys the topics that we speak about each week. So week number 1, and the first 3 weeks are already up on fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, so you can already listen to these ones. So week 1 was the 8 steps of fitness sales. Week 2 was the 5 pre-qualifying questions that you must ask a prospect. Week 3 was how to handle sales objections. And coming out this Friday, week 4, is how to make follow-up calls when a prospect doesn't buy. Now, perhaps if you're watching this and you're an owner, then you might think, well, I've got all that stuff nailed. But what I'd encourage you to think about is whether or not your team need help in any of those areas. The type of sales training that Casey delivers in this 4-part program is absolutely so valuable. This is the sort of stuff that she would go out to organizations and do as a one-on-one training, or do as a team training. Oh, thank you so much, Aisha, saying that you love the intensive series. That's amazing. Kate, thank you. Honestly, Casey's knowledge is invaluable. She is the best of the best when it comes to sales training, and we purposely produce this series in those short kind of 15-minute bursts so that it's something that you can really easily go through with your team members, and you can consume the information, and most importantly, you can utilize the information and action it straight away. So once again, for you guys to find that intensive series, if for anyone that's on the line that hasn't actually listened to it yet, go to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, and then at the top of the homepage, you'll see that there's a tab that's called Intensives. Click on that. It's got all of the first series, which was Paul Brown's retention series, and it's got 3 out of the 4 so far of the Casey Conrad sales series. So make sure that you go on and check that out. And I can't talk about the sales series without saying thank you so much to ABC Financial, because they are the ones that have, supported the series as sponsors, and it allows us to bring that information to you guys every single week. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to that sales intensive series with Casey Conrad. Conrad. And don't forget, last one comes out this coming Friday. Okay, so the next thing, good morning, Maddie. Oh, you've just reminded me. I'm so glad you jumped on the line. I want to do a shout out and congratulations to all of the URSA speakers for 2018. In the past 24 hours, I keep seeing little notifications pop up of all the people that are going to be speaking next year. And let me tell you, there are amazing presenters going to URSA next year. So congratulations to everyone that is going to be speaking at URSA. And if you guys want an amazing learning opportunity, then make sure that you check it out. Make sure that you register and come along to URSA in San Diego next year. I'm going to be there for sure. We will be doing an FBP family meetup walk on day 1. I think it's going to be of URSA. So I would love to meet you guys. And as I said, congratulations to everyone that is speaking at the event next year. I'm sure we will talk a lot more about that in the weeks to come. Now, there's 2 more things I have to tell you about. The first one is our fitness business podcast, Santa Sack. Now, our Santa Sack is going to be opening on the 1st of December, and it's an online or a virtual gift place of a whole lot of amazing offers and products and a whole lot of stuff that you guys can jump on. It's all fitness related, needless to say, and you guys can jump on and check it out. So there could be offers in there from all of our podcast partners, offers for you to trial different products, discounts on different products. So make sure that you jump on from the 1st of December. I'll put the link below, but it's fitnessbusinesspodcast.com/Santa Sack. So that is going to be full of really great offers coming up for Christmas. Now, the last piece of news that I have for you today is that our very next FBP Family Meetup Walk is happening this Saturday. It's happening in New Zealand, so I'm really excited because on Wednesday, I'm going to be jumping on the plane and bright and early Saturday morning at 5:50 a.m. we're going to be meeting for the FBP Family Meetup. So anyone and everyone that is going to FedEx, you are invited to come along and meet us that morning. It's going to be a 45-minute walk, and it's a really great networking opportunity and a fantastic way to start the day. And as I said earlier, I'm really excited and incredibly honored because later that day at lunchtime on the Saturday, I'm going to be hosting the Women in Leadership Luncheon, which I am just so honored to be a part of. And then the big event happens on the Saturday night, the New Zealand Exercise Industry Awards. So it's a huge week coming up. I might even try and cross to you guys and do a live broadcast from FedEx while I'm over there and give you a bit of an update on what's happening over there. So that's it. So your reminders are Michael Stelzner's show is coming out this Wednesday, where we talk about the Facebook Watch platform. Make sure you get on and download that show. Casey Conrad Intensive Series, last one comes out this Friday, so don't miss out on those ones. FBP Santa Stack is coming out on the 1st of December, and our meetup walk is happening this Saturday. That is all from me for today. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, from a very rainy day in Sydney. I don't know what November's doing. It's all over the place here, but I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning, guys. I will be seeing you in 2 weeks' time for our next FBP Live, and very, very possibly from FedEx over the next couple of days. Have a brilliant week up ahead, guys. Thanks for joining me.